High-quality information and effective fraud risk management are fundamental components of an organization's internal control system and corporate governance framework. In modern organizations, strategic and operational decisions increasingly depend upon the availability of accurate, timely, and relevant information, while rising technological complexity and digitalization have expanded the range of fraud risks faced by organizations. Consequently, management reporting systems must provide decision-makers with reliable information, while internal control systems establish comprehensive strategies to prevent, detect, and respond to fraudulent activities. Within the program, information quality and fraud risk management are viewed as complementary elements of effective governance because sound decisions cannot be made without reliable information, and organizational objectives cannot be achieved without protecting assets and maintaining stakeholder confidence through effective fraud prevention. Together, these systems strengthen accountability, operational efficiency, regulatory compliance, and long-term organizational resilience. The framework recognizes that information characteristics vary according to the level of management using the information, reflecting the different responsibilities associated with strategic, tactical, and operational decision-making. Strategic management typically requires broad, forward-looking information to support long-term planning and governance decisions, whereas operational management requires detailed, immediate information to control day-to-day activities. Understanding these differences enables organizations to design management information systems that deliver appropriate information to each organizational level while supporting effective internal control and risk management processes. One of the most important characteristics is the time period represented by management information. Strategic managers rely primarily upon forecast information, including market trends, strategic risks, economic developments, and long-term performance projections, because their decisions concern future organizational direction. In contrast, operational managers depend largely upon historical information, reflecting completed transactions and operational performance that can be monitored and controlled through routine management processes. The different time horizons reflect the distinct objectives of strategic planning and operational execution. The program also highlights differences in timeliness, objectivity, quantifiability, and accuracy. Strategic information may tolerate some reporting delay because strategic decisions develop over longer periods, whereas operational information must be immediately available to support real-time management and control. Strategic information often incorporates subjective assumptions and qualitative assessments concerning future market conditions, technological developments, or competitive behavior, while operational information is generally objective and quantitative, relying upon measurable operational data. Similarly, strategic information may involve approximate estimates and uncertain forecasts, whereas operational information is expected to be highly accurate, certain, and capable of supporting routine operational decision-making. Additional characteristics concern completeness, breadth, and level of detail. Strategic reports are generally broad in scope, covering organizational performance, competitive positioning, governance issues, and external environmental developments with relatively limited operational detail. Operational reports, by contrast, provide highly detailed information relating to individual transactions, production activities, inventory management, customer service, or financial controls. Strategic information may therefore be partially complete due to uncertainty regarding future developments, while operational information should be complete and specific to facilitate accurate operational control. Together, these information characteristics ensure that management reporting systems provide appropriate information tailored to the decision-making requirements of different organizational levels, thereby strengthening governance and internal control effectiveness. Alongside information quality, organizations must establish an effective fraud risk management strategy to protect assets, maintain stakeholder confidence, and ensure organizational integrity. Fraud represents intentional deception designed to obtain unlawful financial or personal advantage and may involve asset misappropriation, financial statement manipulation, corruption, cybercrime, procurement fraud, or abuse of organizational resources. The framework emphasizes that fraud risk management should form part of the organization's overall enterprise risk management system through a structured strategy incorporating fraud prevention, fraud detection, and fraud response. The first element is fraud prevention, which seeks to reduce opportunities and incentives for fraudulent behavior before it occurs. According to the framework, prevention measures include establishing an anti-fraud culture, promoting risk awareness, implementing whistleblowing arrangements, and maintaining sound internal control systems. Ethical leadership, segregation of duties, effective authorization procedures, employee training, and strong governance all contribute to reducing fraud risk by strengthening organizational integrity and discouraging misconduct. Prevention remains the most cost-effective fraud management approach because avoiding fraud is generally less costly than investigating and recovering losses after fraud has occurred. The second element is fraud detection, which focuses on identifying fraudulent activity as early as possible through proactive monitoring and control procedures. The program identifies regular checks such as stock-taking and cash counts as examples of fraud detection activities. Modern organizations may supplement these procedures with internal audits, data analytics, exception reporting, continuous monitoring systems, reconciliations, and forensic reviews to identify unusual transactions or suspicious behavioral patterns requiring investigation. Effective detection systems minimize financial losses while increasing the likelihood that fraudulent activities will be identified promptly.